Good morning students. How you all are? Hope you all are well. And today once again we are back with the second part of chapter 1 from the history. In the previous class we had discussed that peoples in the early time means पुराने जमाने के जो लोग थे they were hunter gatherer. Hunter gatherer means they were called hunter gatherer hunter because they used to hunt animals for food. Second, gatherer because they used to collect or gather food like seeds, fruits, leaves and other parts of plants for their consumption. This was the reason they were called hunter gatherer. Then we had seen that they slowly started settling in some particular place. Basically they selected a place which was near to river or mountains. The reason river, it was because river is an essential thing in our life because we want water for drinking. So they want water for their every purpose. So if they will live near a river, water will be available for their consumption. Second was that when they started agriculture, when they started harvesting, they wanted water for irrigating. So if they live near a water or near river or some ponds, plenty of water will be available for their harvesting. When they started agriculture, they started storing food grains like barley, wheat, rice by making pots. So अब उनके पास काफी सारा फूड स्टोर हो चुका था, स्टोर करते थे वो. So they need not to move from one place to other. They made some permanent houses with the bricks of mud and they settled in that place. But still, there was movement of persons from one place to other. It was because of trade purpose. Trade purpose मतलब कई बार उनको कुछ सामान चाहिए रहता था. So what they did, what harvest they had. Suppose they have some rice, they will give it to someone and in exchange they will purchase some animal. Because they also had started cattle rearing, means वो जानवरों को पालना भी शुरू कर दिए थे for their meat and milk. So in this way, because of cattle rearing and agriculture, they got settled in one place. But still they had some movement because of trade, and sometimes when water get dried up, the river get dried up, तो उनके पास पानी को कोशिश कर वो दूसरी जगह में मूव करते थे. So this was some reason that they still moved from one place to other. Then we had seen about the date or timeline, that the whole history is divided in two parts. That point is the point where Jesus Christ was born. This part is called before Christ, and that part is after the birth of Jesus Christ. It is called AD Anno Domini, or it is called BCE and BC. So in this way we had seen the timeline. They were important contents of the chapter. Now in today's class we will discuss some of the points that is from your book and that are very important and that you should know. First we will discuss that how we got two names, India and Bharat. As you all are aware that means हमारे country का दो नाम है. We have two names, है ना? One is India and second is Bharat. So today we will discuss that how we got that name. First one is India. This word India comes from word Indus river, Indus civilization, and this word Indus is derived from Sanskrit word Sindhu. Okay, India got its name from Indus river, and this river got its name from Sanskrit word Sindhu. Some 2500 years back, when Turkish Iranians and Afghans, they all came to India, they know about the Indus river. So because of that they started calling it as Indus, Indos, and finally we got the name India. The other name Bharata, the word Bharat, it came from word Bharata. At that time, Bharata was a group of people who used to live in the northwest part of India. So when the people came, because of people who lived and who were called Bharata, they started calling India as Bharat. So now I will read this part from your book. You can take page number 4, names of the land. Page number 4, first paragraph, names of the land. I am going to read it. You listen it carefully. Two of the words we often use for our country are India and Bharat. The word India comes from the Indus, called Sindhu in Sanskrit. Find Iran and Greece in your atlas. The Iranians and Greeks who came through northwest about 2500 years ago and were familiar with Indus, called it Indus or Indos, and land to the east of the river was called India. The name Bharata was used for a group of people who lived in northwest and who were mentioned in the Rig Veda, the earliest composition in Sanskrit. Later it was used for our country. So I hope it was very interesting that how we got two names for our nation, India and Bharat. So far in this chapter, we had seen so many things, that what early men used to eat, then how they changed their life, how they got settled, then why they moved from one place to other. Then we had seen that how we got two names for our nation, India and Bharat. So now we will discuss that how we can explore past, how we can know about the past. There are so many things through which we can know about past, but the two important things of them are: one, manuscripts; second, inscriptions. These are two main things through which we can find out about the past. Now we will understand about manuscript. Manuscript is made from and Latin word manu, M-A-N-U, manu. Manu means hand. So all those things which were written by the hand is called manuscripts. In the early time, you might be knowing that the books of early time, they were written by hand in the leaves or barks of the tree. So such kinds of writings which were written in the leaves of a plant or on the branch of a tree is called manuscripts. Then second is inscriptions. Inscriptions means sometimes when you go to some of the temples or ancient monuments, you can see that something image is drawn on it or something is written on them, है ना? मीन्स कई बार आप जैसे कि किसी पुराने मंदिर या फिर पुराने फोर्ट में जाते हैं, आप उनके वॉल्स में देख सकते हैं कि कुछ बारीक लिखा हुआ है, कुछ मैसेजेस बने हुए हैं. Such kind of things are called inscriptions. So we can read these manuscripts and inscriptions to know about the past. But one of the problem is that as manuscripts were written in the parts of plants, so some of the insects have eaten them and we are not able to preserve it. And in the same way, inscriptions, as the time passed, even they were not maintained in a proper way, and some of the inscriptions are also not available today. So now we will read about this manuscripts and inscriptions. So take your history book, page number 4, second paragraph, finding about the past. There are several ways of finding out about the past. One is to search for and read the books were written long ago. They were called manuscripts because they were written by hand. These were usually written on palm leaves or on specially prepared bark of tree known as birch, which grow in the Himalaya. So the things which were written in the books or in the leaves or in the branches of tree, they were called manuscripts. Over years, many manuscripts were were eaten away by the insects, some were destroyed, but many have survived, often preserved in temples and monasteries. These books deal with all kinds of subjects, religious belief and practices, the lives of king, medicines, science. Besides, there are epic poems, play. Many of these were written in Sanskrit. Other were in Prakrit. Sanskrit and Prakrit, they are the ancient languages of India, and most of the manuscripts in India, they were written in this language. We can also study inscriptions. These are writing on relatively hard surface, such as stone or metal. Sometimes king got their orders inscribed so that people could see, read and obey them. There are other kind of inscriptions as well, where men and women, including king and queen, recorded what they did. For example, kings often kept record of victories in battle. So we have discussed that manuscripts means written by the hand in form of books, like written in leaves or in the branches. Inscription means written on hard surface like wall or metal. Basically जो पुराने ज़माने में kings and queens थे, they wanted to maintain a record of their achievement, that how many battles they win, what all properties they have. So what they used to do, they used to make inscribed in walls and in the metal plates, so the coming generation can read it. So those things are very important source through which we can know about our ancient past. So students, now we will discuss about a new term, and that new term is archaeologist. Archaeologist, है ना? Archaeologists are those person who study the past, who explore the past. Means जो लोग early period में क्या हुआ, इसके बारे में study करते हैं. They are called archaeologists. Okay. Then next question is that how archaeologists study about past? What is the style or what is their method of study? So basically, what are the things they study? That also we will discuss. First, remains of building. Several times you know that the archaeologists, they go and study the building, different styles of building. That what is the building made up of, and what all inscriptions are there in the building. What kind of bricks are used to make the building. In this way, archaeologist studies remains of building. Then they excavate. Excavate, this word means to dig, खोदना, गड्ढा करना. Several times you come to know that किसी आपने पेपर में पढ़ा होगा कि किसी पुराने जगह की खुदाई हो रही थी, तो कुछ पुराने स्क्रिप्चर्स मिले, कुछ पुरानी मूर्तियाँ मिले. That is one example of excavation, है ना? So this archaeologists, they used to excavate or dig the earth to know about what all things had happened in the past. Then bones of animal. For example, I hope everyone is aware of woolly mammoth. Woolly mammoth के बारे में सब जानते होंगे. Why? Because you had seen in Discovery or some other channel that they had got the bones of an animal called mammoth, which is not present in our earth now, but once in a period it was there. So even our archaeologists, they used to study the bones and remains of the animal. So students, understood this thing? Now we will read it from your book. So take your book, page number 5, the last paragraph. There were many other things that were made and used in the past. Those who study these objects are called archaeologists. So what are things which is related to the past? Those who study, they are called archaeologists. They study the remains of building made of stone, bricks, paintings and sculptures. Means what all things they get in the building and which is associated with the building, they used to study it. Then next point, they also explore and excavate, dig under the surface of the earth to find tools, weapons, pots, pens, ornaments and coins. So they used to excavate or dug the earth, and what coins, what metals they used to get. They used to study it. Turn the page. Archaeologists also look for bones of animal, birds and fish to find out what plant, what people ate in the past. Plant remains survived far more rarely. If the seeds of grain or pieces of food have been burned, they survive in the charred form. So आप लोगों ने चारकोल के बारे में पढ़ा होगा है ना? That is made up of from the bones of dead animal. Means जो dead animals के ऊपर surface by surface mud and stones cover हो जाते हैं. So after excessive pressure, after many years, they used to get converted in charcoal or some coal-like structure. So our archaeologists, they used to dug the earth and they used to study the bones or remains of plants and animals. So this is how archaeologists study about the past. So everyone got clear this topic? So students, just now we had seen that how archaeologists used to explore the past. So one video is there, and definitely this video will help you to understand more about it. So we will watch it.
Can you read what's written? Obviously not. What you need is something more to help you read this. Congratulations! We just deciphered the word. Decipherment is a process which helps to decode ancient scripts, especially those where the knowledge of the same has been lost.
Decipherment is a process of decoding ancient script. As we had seen that the most helpful things for archaeologists to study past are manuscripts and inscription. But the difference, the problem is that these inscriptions and manuscripts were written almost 2500 years back. Now the language which we are using now and the language that were used at that time, there is very much difference. So what they used to do, the archaeologists used to decode that language, that they used to make a detailed study to understand that what is written in these inscriptions and manuscripts.
The scripts and languages used by the ape.
This is an example of scripture. This is an example of manuscripts. Means written from the hand.
Ancient people have changed over time. A script consists of letters or signs whereas a language is what we read or speak. The earliest deciphering stories can be traced to Egypt, where the Rosetta Stone was found. It has helped to decipher ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs. Let's take a look at some of the hieroglyphic signs.
Students, these are called hieroglyphic signs. Hieroglyphic signs. That means each symbol is used to say a particular word or action.
Hieroglyphs were written alphabets were in the form of images. For example, a lion represented the letter L and a hand represented the letter D. You can read a hieroglyphic script both from left to right or from right to left.
So this is one just example of hieroglyphic language, है ना? Where it is said that the image of lion is used to express L, the image of hand is used to express the image H. As you know that some languages are read from right to left and some from left to right. So in the same way, these languages can be read by their own. But the main thing was that if the animal is facing this direction, then we have to read from this direction, and if animals are facing that direction, then we will be reading from this side.
The thing that you must keep in mind is you need to understand which direction the object is facing. If it is facing left, you read it from the left side and vice versa. Let's quickly take a look at some of the frequently used hieroglyphs and their meanings.
So this is how the archaeologists used to decode the language and they used to learn about the past. So we had completed the chapter, and as already I had given you homework that you please read the chapter one time, है ना? If you have not done that homework in the last class, you please do it now, and if you have any question you can just write it in the comment section and it will be solved. So from here your part is starting. What you have to do, you have to follow the link which is given in the school website and this app too. You have to just write the question answers in your history copy. One more time I am repeating that you make a separate copy for civics, history and geography. Make three separate copies for history, civics and geography. So take a fresh copy and you can start writing question answers of chapter 1. The first question, which is an exercise question. Question number 1, that is match the following, that you can do in your book itself. Then question number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 6 that you have to do in your class or copy. The questions given, let's do, that is not important, that you can skip. But up to question number 6 that you have to write in your class or copy. Okay students, thank